Commissioners, please take your seats. We're 4 minutes behind schedule. We have a large audience today. I'd like to ask everyone in our audience and all commissioners and all staff to please silence your cell phones. Please take out your cell phones, silence them. There's a switch on the side to silence your phone, most likely. All commissioners, please silence your cell phones. Sometimes we get a little call. Okay, it's 3:35 p.m. on October 17th, 2024. This regular session of the Caddo Parish Commission is now in order. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Sorry, my mic was off. Commissioner Crackman. Here. Commissioner Greg Young. Present. Commissioner Thomas.
Here.
Commissioner John Paul Young.
Here.
Commissioner Burrell. Commissioner Jones.
Here.
Commissioner Gage Watts.
Present.
Commissioner Blake.
Here.
Commissioner Atkins. Here. Commissioner Cothran. Here. Commissioner Lazarus.
Here.
And Commissioner Epperson. All right, I am counting 10 of 12 commissioners present, and for the record, I believe the other two are just outside the room and will be joining us shortly. So you do have a quorum.
Thank you. Commissioner Jones, would you give us an invocation, please? And Commissioner Gage Watts, would you lead us in a Pledge of Allegiance?
Sure.
Let us pray. God our Father, we thank you for life, for health, and for strength. We thank you for the opportunity to gather together as citizens of Caddo Parish, do the business of the parish. Oh God, we thank you for everyone in attendance here. We pray for those who have survived and fought against breast cancer, and we pray for the families of those who have gone on from that battle. We even lift those, oh God, victims of domestic violence today. We pray that you would continue to comfort them, give them a peace of mind from all that they've dealt with, and those, oh God, who may not necessarily be out of their situation, we pray that you would provide a way out. We thank you, oh God, for those who have laid their life on the line, the firefighters who are here being honored today. Thank you for their sacrifice. Thank you for the time they have to spend away with their families, making sure that we are all safe and healthy. And so we thank you for them. Yes. We pray, oh God, that whatever is said and done in this meeting today is pleasing to your sight, that we will reason together in peace and in love, and we would do not only the will of the people, but your will. This is our prayer, and we pray these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in unison as we recite the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Commissioners Jones and Gage Watts. Do we have any agenda additions, Mr. Clerk?
We do have a number of agenda additions. Today. I believe they should be available if you refresh
I see. So you have to refresh your screen and you'll see the agenda additions.
Screen. Yes, there should be. Now, these are all special resolutions.
Okay, so there's 5 possible agenda additions. Commissioner Gage Watts, you have a motion.
Yes, Mr. President, I would like to englobe all of the potential agenda addition items to be added to our agenda for today.
And I don't believe that yours is reflected, so you may want to add the
Special resolution for the C. Wright Pink Ribbon Foundation Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Thank
So there's
you.
6 total. Okay. So it's been moved and seconded, and there's a third. We can vote on this once we have a public hearing, but just as a reminder, the vote must be unanimous to add these items to the agenda. Okay, so we have for public hearing now a special resolution for Filipino Awareness Month, for Community Renewal International's 30th anniversary, for Constance Green, for Sam Maddox for Cortland, Malloy, and for
Breast
Breast Cancer Awareness Month. If you have anything to say for or against adding these items to our agenda, please come forward now. Public hearing is open. No one appears to speak about these items. Public hearing is now closed. Okay. We can vote on adding these 6 items to the agenda. Vote must be unanimous to add.
And Commissioner Epperson, thank you. And that motion carries with 12 in support, none in opposition. That brings us.
Do we have citizens' comments?
I have not received, but there is actually a new request.
Thank you so much. Mr. Ken Kraft, my constituent.
Ken Kraft, 157 Archer Avenue, Shreveport, 71105. I want to thank Commissioner Blake for coming to our Broadmoor meeting. A nice presentation by Caddo DA James Stewart night before last, and took questions from the audience. On the roll forward of the millage for a public hearing, I believe November 12th at 11 a.m. right here. I probably cannot make it, so I'm just going to say I hope y'all do it. And I hope we apply the money to part of the hole in the Juvenile Justice Fund. I think it's about $1.2 million. Certainly that helps because that's that much less of a transfer into the Juvenile Justice Fund from the law enforcement. Anyway, secondly, I'd like to throw something out for the appropriate committee, whatever it is, dealing with health care. Is there such a committee dealing with
No, but we could
or
discuss
employee
it.
benefits? Well, let me just explain. As a former member of the Louisiana Office of Group Benefits for many years, 28, I think, 7 terms, 3 elected and 4 appointed, that is a program of 168,000 plan members with a surplus of fund balance of well over $340 million. Should the Police Jury Association of Louisiana have any interest, I'll be happy to talk to the Caddo Parish representative on PJL or state officials. But I'll just summarize what it offers. Lower premiums than we're paying, lower deductibles, lower co-payments, higher benefits, and transportability into other agencies which have Louisiana Office of Group Benefits, which is state of Louisiana and about 58-something school boards, not Caddo and Bossier, but Webster, Bienville, DeSoto, Claiborne, Red River, all these parish school boards have Office of Group Benefits. State law would have to be changed. I offered it to the city. Mayor Arsenault was not interested. He said he would lose control, although some city employees told me they'd rather get lower co-pays, lower premiums, and higher benefits and lose a little control. But every year they go in the hole and they subsidize it from the general fund. And my last comment, I want to thank again publicly here today Commissioner John Atkins, among others, who enabled me to do my bucket list. As I mentioned, Grace Ann knows this night before last at the Broadmoor meeting. If you have a bucket list item, try to get it done and don't wait till you're my age in the mid-70s. It was great. A month ago today, well, about this time I was getting on the plane to come back, but on September 17th, on Constitution Day, I recited from memory, took 25 minutes, 4,891 words of the U.S. Constitution, right there at the Washington Monument, all 27 amendments. People taking selfies of me because I'm in a colonial costume. I've never taken a selfie by myself. Then again, I've never been on Instagram or TikTok or used an ATM or used a debit card, so I'm sort of, my phone is Fred Flintstone, Jurassic Park, but that's okay. But do your bucket list, get it done. It's a great sense of fulfillment and satisfaction. After that, I walked, it started to rain, to the Jefferson Memorial, and I recited the Declaration of Independence. I've done that hundreds of times. Punished work in 8th grade, best punished work ever. Thank you, sister. And all I did is pull a ribbon from a ponytail, my goodness. But punish work for a 14-year-old boy is raking leaves or cleaning windows or cleaning toilets. But the best punish work I ever got was you have to memorize the Declaration of Independence. So think about your bucket list and get it done before time goes by. Because as Garth Brooks sings in that song, tell that someone that you love just what you're thinking of if tomorrow never comes. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kraft.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, that brings us to visitors. Are there visitors today?
We have no scheduled visitors today.
That brings us to adopting our regular session minutes. Stormy Gage Watts, you have a motion?
Thank you, Mr. President. Yes, I would like to move to englobo and adopt the regular session minutes from October 3rd and the special resolutions 8.1, 8.2, and will the other resolutions be added in this area as well?
Yes, ma'am. They
Including,
are listed on my notes as 8.3 through 8.9.
8.3 through 8.9.
All right, so we have a motion from Commissioner Gage Watts to englobo and adopt 7.1, 8.1 to 8.9. And a second by Commissioner Epperson. Any discussion? We can vote.
Commissioner Greg Young is absent. And that carries with 11 in support, none in opposition. And at this time, we have all of these special resolutions are available for either reading or presentation. I believe we also have a special resolution that was adopted last meeting that was mentioned to be presented today.
Yes.
And so please let me know what order y'all would like this done in, and I will be more than happy to.
Okay, I know that we have the domestic violence. We have someone here from the DA's office, and we have Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It's Shreveport Fire Department. What else do we have here?
We also, I
anybody
believe,
from
have
the
somebody
library?
from the Shreve
John
Library
Tuggle?
Board.
Yeah.
Anyone here to accept that one? Yes. Any others?
I have one from Miss Gloria Gibson, but her daughter called me and said that she would not be able to.
Okay. Okay, well, I'm sorry to hear that, but we certainly will make sure she receives that. So I suppose we should go in order. Would you like me, Commissioner Epperson, to read the joint proclamation? I know we're going to have a separate ceremony for that. Would you like me to?
No, sir.
Okay. The next item is a special resolution of recognition for the Shreveport Fire Department. Would they like to come up at this time, and we
They are
can
here.
read that?
Welcome, firefighters. And thank you for your service.
And as Commissioner Thomas makes his way to the podium and the fire department makes their way up, I will read this into the record. It is a special resolution of recognition and appreciation for the Shreveport Fire Department, and it reads, whereas the Caddo Parish Commission seeks to acknowledge and celebrate the achievements of organizations that exemplify excellence and service to the community. And whereas the Shreveport Fire Department has been honored by the American Heart Association with the prestigious Mission Lifeline Silver Status Award for its outstanding performance in providing life-saving emergency cardiac care to the citizens of Shreveport and Caddo Parish. And whereas the Mission Lifeline Award recognizes emergency medical service agencies that demonstrate a high standard of care in the treatment of patients who suffer from severe heart attacks, particularly those experience ST elevation, myocardial infarctions, and which require timely intervention to prevent death and improve outcomes. Whereas the Shreveport Fire Department's commitment to clinical excellence, rapid response, and collaboration with area hospitals has made a significant difference in the survival and recovery of cardiac patients in the region. And whereas achieving silver status within the Mission Lifeline program reflects the department's continuous efforts to enhance emergency cardiac care through advanced training, state-of-the-art technology, and adherence to the best practices that align with national guidelines. And whereas the Caddo Parish Commission is proud to recognize the Shreveport Fire Department for this remarkable achievement and expresses its gratitude to the department's leadership, paramedics, EMTs, and all personnel for their dedication in saving lives and providing exceptional care to the community. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Caddo Parish Commission and legal and regular session convened that it does hereby commend and congratulate the Shreveport Fire Department for receiving the American Heart Association's Mission Lifeline Silver Status Award for its ongoing commitment to protecting the health and safety of the citizens of Caddo Parish. Be it further resolved that this resolution will be presented to the Shreveport Fire Department in recognition of their accomplishment.
Thank you all so much, and congratulations. Would you like to say a few words?
Sure. On behalf of the mayor of the city of Shreveport, Tom Arsenault, and the men and women of the Shreveport Fire Department, we say thank you. This is great. It's an honor. It pretty much lets you know Shreveport is a great place to have an emergency. Not only any emergency, but a heart attack, if you will. We don't want you to come here to experience that, but if you do, we want you to know we have you covered. But it also shows the full circle. It starts with our communications division, then our boots on the ground, our operations division, those men and women out there on those ambulances at those 22 fire stations, making sure that we get to these residents and these visitors as quickly as possible. And a lot of times that's done with fire trucks and ambulances that are kind of limping down the road at times. We don't have the nicest or the freshest or the neatest equipment, but we make sure that we do the best that we can with what we have. And also our EMS division, who reviews a lot of these policies and make sure that we're in compliance. Special recognition, I brought our medical director with us today, Dr. David Janice. We've had a lot of medical directors under the Shreveport Fire Department, especially in my 22 years, and many of these to the left have a lot more time than I have. All of them come in very energetic. Dr. Janice is a different type of energetic. He bounces off of walls. At times we think he's on speed, but he is very energetic, and he does not take no for an answer. So I'd like for him to at least speak on what this means. And the only reason that we're silver, again, if you're not first, you're last, huh? Or if you're not first, you're last. But the only reason we did not get gold is because you have to achieve silver before you get there. So look forward to seeing the Shreveport Fire Department with the gold award on next year. But Dr. Janice?
Hello, everybody. This is my first time talking in front of a commission, so apologize if I'm a little nervous. But when I started here 3 years ago, I watched and listened. And as a new resident of Caddo Parish, I was amazed at how this fire department integrates into so many different parts of our community and how it integrates into our health systems. After I watched and listened, I realized that what a good work that they're doing every day. And like Chief Reese said, if you call 911, I mean, seconds count. Trauma, heart attacks, strokes, all the important things that you depend on that expertise. And I think that our paramedics, our EMTs, our fire department, they provide a really important service. This is just one of the things that they do well. They do well with stroke care, with sepsis care, with trauma care. And so, you know, if it's in the power of the parish, we need to support the men and women of the line. We need to support the leaders that are here beside me, because this is what we do when we call 911. We depend on the leadership to trickle down into enforcement for the line, so that if you have an emergency, your family has an emergency, I have an emergency, I know that I'm in good hands. And I'm really happy to be part of this organization, really happy to be a member of this parish, and I'm just so happy that we're able to be recognized and so forth, be recognized with all the line members, because they need this. They need to be told that they're doing a good job every day, which is what they do already. And so I thank you for this acknowledgement. It really means a lot to them. Appreciate you all.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Just as a benefit to the public, could you, so it seems that you're excellent at taking care of people who are having heart attacks. Could you give us a 30-second description of how to know if you're having a heart attack?
Oh, absolutely. So, you know, heart attacks, chest pain, right? And unfortunately, it differs from men and women. You know, men traditionally are said to be having heart pain. I feel, pressure on my chest. Women may have jaw pain, may have arm pain. I think that anytime that you're concerned about it, you need to call. You need to go and get help, because the heart is a muscle, and when you don't get oxygen or blood to that muscle, it starts to get hurt. And so, you know, if you're having symptoms like that, if you're concerned, we're here to help. The hospitals are here to help. I mean, that's part of our charge as being healthcare professionals.
Terrific. Thank you so much. A couple of commissioners would like to speak to you all. Commissioner Thomas.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just wanted to say to you, Chief Reese, thank you all for the untiring service that you provide to the citizens of the parish of Caddo. It was important for me to make sure that everyone knew about this. I think it's so important for citizens to have that comfort, to know that if they are in the middle of a crisis, that our servicemen and women of the Shreveport Fire Department are there, they are trained, they are capable to make sure that you get the assistance that you need. Those critical moments are so important to the outcome and people's survival. And thank thank you all. I can't wait until you get gold status. I'm glad you explained why you had silver status, because I figured something was wrong with the votes or something or whatever happened. But we look forward to you all receiving that gold star status. I know that y'all are more than capable of achieving it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Burrell.
Chief, I do want to congratulate you on your leadership. Want to congratulate you on your leadership. My colleagues now often remind me that I'm a senior member now. Or they call it
Season.
One good thing about being a senior, you see people come and go. And I've seen a lot of chiefs come through and go. And you seem to have a wonderful staff. You got my good fraternity brother on the end. I know you're safe from that perspective. But at the same time, I have heard nothing but wonderful things about our fire department, and looking forward to big and better things for the future. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, sir.
Commissioner Cothran.
Yes, I would just like to echo those same sentiments and to share also throughout this parish, not just for this event, but for everything that you all do daily. Even though you might not hear it on a personal level, it's being talked about. Throughout communities in this parish, people are talking about the fire department, what they're doing. And you all are very near and dear to my heart for a very special reason, which I will share on a personal level. But the thing is also, I look forward to my grandson joining you all hopefully one day as he continued to go down this with his journey as well. But the thing is, again, please, please, please know what you all do daily is not forgotten by anybody in the city. And I promise you, on the worst day when a fire starts, the last person they don't want to see show up, okay? And the thing is that you all are always on time, always on time. And as you said, with the heart attacks and strokes and things of this nature, we had a saying in the United States Army, when in doubt, punt, mean call somebody quickly, okay? Thank you again for what you all do daily.
Thank you, Commissioner Cothran. I also can never forget the fire department. I have a home 2 blocks from a station, so I hear sirens a lot. Commissioner Blake.
Thank you, Mr. President. See a lot of friendly faces, some new. I'm so pleased for this recognition. I am so grateful for what y'all do for our community, and while you're here, I wanted to share with everybody that y'all are about to start your Operation Santa Claus. And what y'all are doing in the community every year is huge. I've been a part of it as long as I've been in business helping with that. And it's such a tremendous program. So I also wanted to share that right now we still have some firemen that we know are working with the hurricanes. And thank y'all for that service as well. Y'all always go above and beyond for our community, from doing as simple little special things like saving duck families. I have a hair salon right next to the fire station on Newry Drive. I never can remember the station number, but for 25 years, there are ducks that are born under my building, and it's amazing how y'all save those ducks and get them to the duck pond. There's been a shooting on my property in a very serious situation, and y'all were there immediately, and you took care of, we had 25 people in the building, and you helped every one of us, but you helped the victims and the perpetrator. And also, most recently, I had a fall, and I'm at that point in life where a fall really is important and dangerous, and were there within minutes and took care of me. And I just want to say I am proud for what y'all have done and grateful. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you.
Commissioner Gage Watts.
Thank you, Mr. President. Of course, I concur the sentiments that has already been shared. There was one thing that I was going to say about the Toys for Tots, and I see, hey, Calvin. Yeah, that's former Commissioner Lindora Baker's son. Yes, and we appreciate you all service so much, and so many of us work with you on different initiatives. And there was also one thing that I did not hear mentioned on today, that the fire department needs to make the public aware of, is that you do so much more. It's, as you've stated, about helping those, in dire situations, but the way that you are communicating with us. And that's something different from me as a commissioner. Over the last 10 years since I've been here, I have not always had that communication. When there's a fire in my district, I often hear about it on the news. So I appreciate getting those reports from this department to let us know exactly what's going on. So again, we cannot thank you enough for your service. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you all again, and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And thank you, Commissioner Thomas, for putting that resolution on our agenda. Okay, Mr. Clerk, which is the next to read?
The next item on my list is actually one that was adopted in a previous meeting, which is a resolution, a special resolution of remembrance for John Tuggle. And I believe there are members of the library board here today to receive that. And I believe Commissioner Cothran is making his way down to the podium to meet them.
All right, please stand.
And at this time, I will read it into the record, and it reads, "A special resolution in remembrance of John Tuggle, whereas the Caddo Parish Commission is deeply saddened by the recent passing of John Tuggle, who served as the executive director of Shreve Memorial Library for 9 years, during which time he profoundly impacted the library system and the community. And whereas John Tuggle embodied the mission of the Shreve Memorial Library, working tirelessly to transform lives in Caddo Parish through the resources, services, and support the library provided. He was instrumental in guiding the library's strategic plan, demonstrating a visionary approach and a commitment to innovation. And whereas under his leadership, John championed initiatives that improved the accessibility and inclusivity of library services, fostering early childhood literacy, bridging the digital divide, and making the library a beacon of opportunity for all. Among his notable accomplishments were the establishment of the Children's Book Festival, the implementation of virtual student library cards for children in Caddo Parish Public Schools, and the expansion of library services to benefit all citizens. And whereas John's leadership and vision extended beyond the library, fostering partnerships with numerous community organizations, including the Shreveport Regional Arts Council, Sideport Discovery Center, United Way of Northwest Louisiana, Food Bank of Northwest Louisiana, and the Louisiana State University Shreveport, which enabled the library to reach and serve an even broader audience. Whereas John Tuggle was a passionate advocate for equity, diversity, and inclusion within the library system, working closely with the Library Board of Control to create policies that were equitable and inclusive for both staff and patrons. His dedication to competitive salaries, staff development, and a supportive work environment is a legacy that will continue to enrich the Shreve Memorial Library for years to come. Whereas the loss of John Tuggle is felt deeply by the board, staff, and patrons of Shreve Memorial Library, the many community organizations he worked with, and the citizens of Caddo Parish whose lives he enriched through his service and leadership. Now therefore be it resolved by the Caddo Parish Commission that it does hereby remember and honor John Tuggle for his distinguished leadership, his tireless commitment to the betterment of Shreve Memorial Library, and his profound contributions to the people of Caddo Parish."
Please speak a few words if you'd like.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Don Howard. I'm the board president for the Board of Control for the Shreve Memorial Library System. On behalf of our staff, our administration, and our board of directors, I sincerely want to thank you all for acknowledging Mr. Tuggle for his service. For 9 years, faithfully and literally until the last days, he came to work. I had to make him go home when he wasn't feeling well. And he made sure that he attended the meetings in which we discussed salary increases for our staff. He made sure he made it to the meeting when we discussed the budget to ensure that the work could go on. And so again, I am very grateful for Mr. Tuggle's legacy being remembered. And just so you know, We are in the process of initiating a national search to ensure that we bring in the best candidate possible to build on the tremendous legacy that Mr. Tuggle has established. And as I prepare to take my seat, I want you to know, give you an example of what impact he had. During COVID, all of us know the challenges that we had with COVID. And those of us with school-age children know those challenges. But many of our citizens in our communities don't have access to broadband, to internet, such that the children could do their homework well. So we started noticing that children would come to the parking lots of the various branches throughout the system. When we realized what was going on, Mr. Tuggle made sure that we extended the reach of the Wi-Fi so that as many citizens as possible could have access to Wi-Fi so that our children could do their homework. And so please know that, again, we are grateful, and we will continue, the Shreve Memorial Library System will continue to do the good work of serving our community. Thank you.
Thank you so much. A few commissioners would like to speak to you, I think. Commissioner Cothran.
Yes, I would just like to say, first of all, I wish we were not presenting this proclamation, first and foremost, and to his family. I will continue to keep them in my prayers. John and I go back probably at least 7 years when I first got here to Shreveport. And the thing about it is that his introduction was just so phenomenal, so awesome. And the thing I like most about him is that only thing he ever saw was people. That's all he ever saw. And the thing is, you were going to always get a conversation about the library and what you could do to help the library in time that you met John. So it's once again, I present this proclamation, but the thing is, again, he will always be in my heart. Thank you all, and the staff for coming as well.
Thank you.
Commissioner Gage-Watts.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would just like to say that I offer my condolences and my prayers. I had the opportunity of working on several boards with Mr. Tuggle, and he's always been fair and honest and to the point in many capacities. And when you mentioned about the children having access to that free Wi-Fi, I thought it was advantageous that we share with everyone just a little bit about that program, because a citizen could come into the library and rent out that Wi-Fi box for up to 6 months, and then they could check it out again if they needed it. Is that program still available?
That program is available, excuse me, on a limited basis, but we do plan to continue with that. And basically what happens is any citizen that is a library patron can go to any branch, and staff, please correct me if I'm wrong, can go to any branch and check out a Wi-Fi hotspot that they can use at their home to do their homework or whatever it is that they may be doing.
Great. So it is at every location now, because I know that it started in 71109, the Atkins and library. Okay. And they just come with their library card. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
That's honorable. And I hope to hear it renamed in honor of Mr. Tuggle. Thank you so much.
I'm glad to hear you say that.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Gage-Watts. Is that all? Thank you so much.
Thank you all very much.
Mr. Howard, the clerk has something for you.
Let's see, I believe the next item is the Catherine Wright Pink Ribbon Project, the breast cancer awareness. And as Commissioner Gage-Watts
Please
makes
stand.
her way to the podium, I will read this into the record. It is a proclamation for Breast Cancer Awareness Month and the Catherine Wright Pink Ribbon Project. It reads, whereas October is designated as National Breast Cancer Awareness Month, breast cancer touches the lives of Caddo residents from every background and every community across our parish. And whereas though great strides have been made in combating this devastating illness, more women and men will be diagnosed with breast cancer this year, and hundreds are expected to lose their lives to this disease in Caddo Parish. And whereas the Catherine Wright Pink Ribbon Project's goal is to help breast cancer survivors in the local community while providing access to resources pertinent to the overall health, mental, and emotional care. The C. Wright Pink Ribbon Project's mission is to impact breast cancer through education, awareness, and support. And whereas the Pink Projects provides ongoing emotional assistance to underserved and uninsured patients undergoing breast cancer treatment. The Pink Project's financial sponsorship allows patients to focus on recovery and survivorship, along with providing community agencies comprehensive services to breast cancer patients in Bossier and Caddo parishes. And whereas 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer during their lifetime, it is of major importance that local programs like the Catherine Wright Pink Ribbon Project be available to the community. Whereas during National Breast Cancer Awareness Month, the Caddo Parish Commission honors those who have lost, lend our strength to those who carry on the fight, and pledge to educate ourselves and our loved ones about this tragic disease. And whereas this month we stand with those who have been affected by breast cancer, and we recognize the ongoing efforts of dedicated advocates, researchers, and healthcare providers who strive each day to defeat this terrible disease. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Caddo Parish Commission meeting in legal and regular session that it does hereby proclaim October 2024 as Breast Cancer Awareness Month in Caddo Parish, Louisiana, and urges all citizens to join with the parish in recognition of this important month.
Good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for this time and this proclamation to the C. Wright Pink Ribbon Project. I'm Catherine Wright. I am a 20-year survivor of this disease. And I am eternally grateful to be here and continue to do this work to try to save other lives here. The organization was founded back in 2011. To this day, we have given out over $350,000 to those women who are battling disease in Northwest Louisiana. So we take care of the rural areas as well as Shreveport and Bossier area. We have not had to turn a patient around because of a lack of funds. And that is because of the generosity of this community here, and we do appreciate them. We help those patients who is battling this disease, who are in treatment, to stay in their homes. As you know, sometimes they cannot work, so the C. Wright Pink Ribbon step in and take care of them financially while they're going through breast cancer treatment. We do not make a check payable to no individual person, but we take care of the need of that patient in a timely manner. I am so grateful for this community, and thank you, commissioners, for recognizing the C. Wright Pink Ribbon Project. We will continue to do this work to try to save lives as much as we can. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank my family for coming today, my 2 grandchildren, who I'm extremely proud of, my wonderful daughter, who really takes care of me. She really takes care of me. And I like to thank my wonderful friends who took the time out to come to share this time with me today. I'm eternally grateful to you for coming out today. Again, thank you. I get emotional, but that's just a part of who I am, because I am just eternally grateful for this work. It is all volunteer. Nobody pay us anything to do this work. And this is a constant work that we do. I always say this because it is true. We are getting paid because each time that I can help somebody along this way, he gives me another day to live. So I'm eternally grateful for that. As you know, this is a deadly disease. but I'm living here, living proof that early detection is the key. Again, thank you for this opportunity. May God bless you and keep you is my prayer.
Thank you so much. Commissioner Thomas.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just want to congratulate you on this recognition, Ms. Wright. For as long as I've been working in the community, I've seen you at everything you've been at. Don't be afraid to cry, because I know those are tears of joy every time you think about the countless women that you've helped through this process. I just want to say thank you, because I know the work that you've done. I know women who have benefited from your group and your program's services. Please continue to do that work. God is definitely going to reward you all for everything that you do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Burrell.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I too wanted to commend you on your work, especially volunteer work. Having been in a nonprofit where you volunteer a lot, you find that not too many people want to volunteer their time today without pay. So it's really a blessing to have people in the community that does these things without pay. They do it just strictly out of love. So again, I wanted to commend you.
Thank you, Commissioner Burrell. Commissioner Gage Watts. Oh, sorry.
I just want to recognize a good friend. I understand that she's a part of this, and that's Miss Janet Sneed. Janice is retired from Southern University faculty, and she's a former military veteran. Well, she is a military veteran.
Yeah.
And we've worked together over the years. Our BizCamp program that we started at Southern University, and she was one of the ones who helped start that back 25 years ago. I'm dating you, Janice. And she's retired now. We're hoping to get her back on that board, although I'm no longer affiliated, to help us out. Thank you again. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Gage Watts.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you again, Ms. Wright, for all of your service that you are providing in our communities. You truly have become a beacon of light and hope for countless individuals, as it has been said. It is so important that we not only use this month to wear our pink and the ribbons, because there's so much more that stands behind them. And often it's hard to put a face with it. But you are an example of a survivor. And there are people who are going through right now who may be afraid, but to be able to have someone that they can talk to and share their testimony and just let them know that, there are so many improvements that are happening with breast cancer treatment. However, we're still not there. You are a local organization that we can pour into and participate with and donate to. And that we know that everything that we need, we know that a survivor or someone who is currently going through it at that time, a warrior, needs also. So how can we give back to your organization right here in Caddo Parish?
You can give back by, our website is down right now, Janice. We're working on that now.
Okay.
It went down, so we're working on it. But if anybody want to donate, they can send the donation to 935 Eatman Street in Bossier City, Louisiana 71111. Or we have you can Google C. Wright Pink Ribbon Project, and it'll tell you, other things that you can do to donate. I want to say that the organization wouldn't be anything without the 25 women who volunteer too. We have 25 women who keep the organization going, and I couldn't do anything without those women, along with Ms. Janet Sneed. We all have our role with the organization, and that's what keeps the organization going. Again, it's strictly volunteer work.
Wonderful.
Again.
Thank you so much, and continue to do the good work.
We will. May God bless you all again. Thank you.
All right, you got some more people want to talk?
Commissioner Cothran.
Yes, thank you, Ms. Wright. And I have a couple of questions. First of all, a number of, as we talk right now, and as Commissioner Gage White said a few minutes ago, this thing that we call breast cancer is touching someone right now. And the question is, how can a person get to you, other than the website, to volunteer and also to donate? Because the thing is, breast cancer don't just pick one month to affect women. It's throughout the year.
Right.
And to either volunteer or give contributions, how can someone go about doing that? Telephone number.
They can also do it by calling area code 318
Okay.
453 3544.
One more time.
318 453 3544.
Okay. Again, I salute you and your organization for what you're doing daily for women and men.
Yes.
Because the thing is, again, we sometimes forget that this disease, illness does affect men as well. Yes. So once again, I ask that question so those that are listening could possibly do what they can to assist in this battle. And as the commissioner said a few minutes ago, we all know who's in control of this. Yes. But the thing is, again, the more that we can do to assist you in organizations like yourself, the better the organizations and the women and men that receive your services will benefit. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, and congratulations on all the wonderful work you've done.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for continuing.
Thank you.
I believe the next item for presentation, I believe, is the Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Is that correct? Okay, I believe so. And I do have a copy of this for presentation. And this one reads, whereas
stand.
October is designated as National Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and whereas domestic violence impacts women, men, and children of every age, background, and belief, nearly 1 in 4 women and 1 in 7 men in the United States have suffered severe physical violence by an intimate partner. And whereas victims are deprived of their liberty and security and face tremendous threats to their health and safety. During the National Domestic Violence Awareness Month, we reaffirm our dedication to forging an America where no one suffers the hurt and hardship that domestic violence causes. And whereas during National Domestic Violence Awareness Month, the Caddo Parish Commission pledges their unwavering support to those in need and recognizing the advocates, victims, service providers, and organizations who work tirelessly to extend hope and healing to survivors and victims every day. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Caddo Parish Commission meeting in legal and regular session on this 17th day of October 2024 that it does hereby proclaim October 2024 as National Domestic Violence Awareness Month in Caddo Parish, Louisiana, and urges all citizens to join with the parish in recognition of this important month.
Welcome.
Good afternoon. My name is Brittany Green, and I am an assistant district attorney with Caddo Parish District Attorney's Office, and with me is Mrs. Leone Fitzgerald, who directs our victim assistance unit there at the District Attorney's Office. And we stand before you on behalf of the District Attorney of Caddo Parish, James E. Stewart Sr. We stand before you all and we thank you for recognizing the crisis of domestic violence and understanding the importance of acknowledging the fact that it is touching every life within our community in one way or the other. Proclamations such as this enable our citizens to understand that the battle against the evil of domestic violence is ongoing. It is beyond the month of October. It is happening every single day in every area, in every neighborhood, in many homes. Our neighbors, our family members, our friends, our acquaintances, our coworkers, our students. Everyone is impacted by domestic violence. And so when we are able to come out as an office to be a part of efforts to recognize the impact of domestic violence, we are eternally grateful. And so we thank you today, and we thank you for being able to stand with us as we do our work going forward.
Thank you so much, Ms. Green. There are a few commissioners who wish to speak also. Commissioner Jones.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you all for the work that you do as it relates to domestic violence. When I was 8 years old, I was outside playing with a few friends of mine, and a woman ran out of her boyfriend's house screaming and crying. And he, forgive me, he chased her down while we were outside playing, and he beat her right in front of us. And that situation has never left my mind. And I took that to heart. I ran in the house and told my mom about it because I had never seen a man put his hands on my mother or really any of the women in my family. And I wanted to know what was going on. You know, why would he do that to her? Yes. It got as far as to the point where he pulled the gun. And that's what prompted all of us to take off running into the house. And this was a neighbor I trusted as a child. Didn't have my father in the home, and so I trusted him as a man, and it bothered me to see that happen. When I got older, one of my classmates that I ran track with was killed by her boyfriend. I am praying that we as adults understand how our actions affect children and how serious something like this is. If there's ever an opportunity for someone like myself to help, serve, get the awareness out, I like to participate. If the DA's office has something that I can do voluntarily, there wouldn't be a conflict of interest in any kind of way, please let me know, because this is very near and dear to my heart. I want to thank my colleagues for making sure that this was on the agenda, because I have 4 sons, and they know how I feel about them putting their hands on other little girls. And I want them to grow up and understand that the Lord declared it was not good for man to be alone. And so he gifted us the woman. And I understand men are affected by this too. I've just never seen or experienced it from that level. So I'm more partial towards women being abused because I've seen it firsthand. Yes. And when you don't take care of a gift, you're not a good steward of what the Lord has given you. He'll take it away. And I want every young man to know, every man that's listening, that we have been gifted the greatest thing on earth, the strongest human being on earth. A woman handles more than anything any man can handle. They handle the family, they handle all the hard work, they make us look good. And the least we can do is take care of them and treat them right. And so my prayer is that somebody's hearing my voice today, that they would take it seriously, that this is not okay. This is a problem that we need to address, and it's okay for us to speak up and say when something is wrong. I don't know what's happened to our society that everybody doesn't want to say anything anymore. But we got to stop being silent and take this seriously, because it's happening not just with adults, it's happening with teenagers.
Yes.
And that's what scares me the most, when it's okay and things become commonplace and we feel like, you know, we can just overlook it. Next thing we'll know, it'll be in middle school or elementary, that we think it's okay to be abusive. And so my prayer is that you all will have every resource that you need, and that you would continue to move forward boldly and confidently so we can get rid of this problem. Thank you so much for what you do. May God bless you and keep you. It's my prayer.
Thank you, Commissioner Jones, and we welcome your willingness to assist in this effort. And this is a call to action for everyone who is listening and everyone who you might be able to talk to. We have ongoing initiatives right now during the month of October, and we conduct initiatives throughout the year. One of our big initiatives right now is the Purple Box Project. Purple Box Project, where our office has formed an alliance with every library within Caddo Parish. And there is a purple box within every library, and we are asking all citizens to contribute items that will go to benefit domestic violence survivors. Items such as personal hygiene, toothpaste, toothbrushes, hair care products, shampoo, body wash, all of those items, and even small household items such as sheets, towels, comforter sets, diapers, baby wipes, things that a person would need if they had fled into the night without anything, as a lot of survivors are forced to do. And so our Purple Box project, our Purple Box campaign, will be throughout the month of October and into the first week of November. Any citizen can go to any library within Caddo Parish and drop off those donations. Those will directly benefit the families that are going through the storm of domestic violence. So thank you, Commissioner Jones, and we invite anyone who has other questions about what you might be able to do throughout the year to contact the Caddo Parish District Attorney's Office so that we can coordinate with you and so that we can work together to combat this, because domestic violence is a community-wide problem and it requires a community-wide response.
Commissioner Gage Watts.
Thank you, Mr. President. Brittany, I'm glad you mentioned that about the Purple Box. And Mrs. CEO, I was thinking that this would be a great initiative for our employee council to be a part of, and hope that we could have a Purple Box right here in this building for us to participate and give back to the organization that's doing so much for the men and women in our community. I want to thank Commissioner Stephon Jones for sharing just a piece of his testimony. It's important for each one of us to share our story, because that's what gives the strength that is needed in this journey. My mother survived domestic violence, and many people don't know that. But in her first marriage with her first 5 children, she was a victim, and now I could call her a survivor of domestic violence. But I do believe that a lot of the latter part of her life was affected by domestic violence. So because we see it and we feel it, we really don't know what it does to a person who actually goes through it. So I want every young person that is listening now that love should not hurt. And you should always be able to share your story. There are organizations who are here for you, not just this month, because we make it look good with swag and purple colors, but every day of your life. Don't be afraid to share your story. And for my commissioners, my colleagues, I think that this is a perfect opportunity for us to continue to advocate for legislation to address these needs for the victims so that we can do everything in our power to protect them. I thank you for the work that you're doing beyond the Purple Box. I know that this is a daily task for you, and I know that it could be taxing on you as well. So I know that God is keeping you through this journey, and our prayers are with you, and the support of Caddo Parish Commission is always here for you as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all. We appreciate you.
Commissioner Cothran.
I too thank you all for what you do daily, and most of all, being a part of the Domestic Violence Task Force. The thing is Commissioner Stephon said a few minutes ago, I too grew up in a community where I saw some things that I didn't understand, and I can say to this day, at my age now, I have yet and will never put my hand on a woman. It is too easy to walk away. It is too easy to walk away. As a high school principal, I saw it, and I even saw it down at the middle school level happening as well. But the thing I would share most of all, I really salute the Domestic Violence Task Force for preparing to address the men. You know, quite often when we think DV, we always think about the woman, why she stayed, why she won't get out, things of this nature. But I have seen very little efforts, and I think Caddo Bossier is getting ready to address the men as well. As a matter of fact, we have a particular individual who has made his place available to start talking about those issues. And again, we will be gathering men up together to talk about just that. You know, why is it that you think you must put your hand on anybody? And the thing is, again, I share, as a man, and I do say a man, not a boy, it is so much easier to walk away versus getting locked up, hurting someone, or getting hurt yourself. thank you all again for what you do daily.
Absolutely. Commissioner Cawthorn, we welcome the voices of men. It is important, and we often say that when men are involved in the issue of domestic violence awareness, when the level of men's involvement rises to the level that we see women being involved, then the situation will change. It will be so much better. And so thank you for those efforts, and the District Attorney's Office will also be conducting special training and programming for men in the community at the reentry program, talking about the issues that underlie domestic violence, the power and control issues. Our staff members, along with Clint Davis, a local counselor, will be addressing that and be on site so that we can begin the conversation, and so that our conversation can lead to action that is very much male-oriented, so we can hear those voices even louder. So thank you.
Commissioner Blake.
Thank you, Mr. President. I want to thank the District Attorney's Office for what y'all do. I have a pretty long history with the District Attorney's Office here of help that was provided to my family. I want to thank Stormy for saying it's important to use our voice. I want to share my voice of my past, that my family was a family that was in hiding of domestic abuse. As a child, my brother and I were put in hiding because of domestic violence. My mother was actually a counselor who worked in this community helping women that were abused, but she was afraid to use her voice. We have, in the past 30, 40 years, come so far with awareness and help, but yet we're still so far back behind of things that need to happen. I own a hair salon, and it's a pretty large one, and every single day I hear stories about mothers, fathers, children of domestic violence. Many stories every day. It's important for the community to know we hear so many stories or instances where we want to tear down the people in our community that are doing good. And James Stewart has done so much to advance awareness of domestic violence, sexual violence, sex trafficking in this community. I personally know Leone now for, I believe, 23 years because she worked on my family's case, because my family dealt with some very horrific actions of abuse in this community. And I wanted to share what the District Attorney Office does to help our community. Y'all become the sounding board for people that have anger and fears and they don't know where to release them. The District Attorney's Office and your programs become the backbone for the victims that their bones have been broken, literally. The District Attorney's Office becomes the resource center for every single need, like the purple box, and I think Stormy Gage Watts for suggesting that we have one of those here. I have a hairstylist that a couple of years ago started collecting, and I was unaware of that box. And so I appreciate that and would love for that to be implemented as soon as possible. The District Attorney's Office becomes the hand to hold in scary, dark places and very long, hard paths that take years before people can function again. The DA's office becomes the heart when your heart is totally broken and sometimes destroyed. Most importantly, the District Attorney's Office becomes the voice for the victim and the family and the friends of victims when your voice has been silenced, taken, and stolen. So thank you for what you're doing. I appreciate every day. The District Attorney has given my family a life back. I almost left 22 years ago because of the hardships that we went through. But because of the District Attorney's Office, we found our way to survive. And my family, everybody that was involved, is no longer a victim, but a voice of reason and guidance and help to others and become very successful, functioning members of society. And so cycles can be stopped. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Commissioner Gage-Watts?
Thank you, Mr. President. I just wanted to say to DA Stewart, thank you for allowing your staff to come over and represent today about the great work that you're doing, and he's ready for you all to come back to work because you are needed.
Yes, thank you all so much again, and we look forward to all of the wonderful contributions for our Purple Box campaign, and we look forward to seeing and working with you in the future on this very important topic. Thank you.
Thank you, Brittany.
Thank you.
Commissioner Jones?
I'm going to bring y'all a purple box tomorrow.
Yay!
Where should I
you.
bring it?
Great. Come to, you want it to the clerk office? Just come to this first door
Okay.
on the outside of these double doors, right there to your left.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Jones?
Thank you. Y'all go ahead and go to work. I want DA Stewart. I wanted to take the time. I failed to mention the great work and the legacy of Patrina Jenkins with Project Celebration.
Yes.
When I was director at Diesel Driving Academy, it was a requirement by our creditors that we had different type of courses, and domestic violence was one of them. And Miss Patrina Jenkins, God rest her soul, helped so many people with the work that she's done with Project Celebration and domestic violence. And I even had some students who would hang around after the presentation to share their stories and let them know how much she was helping them because they didn't have that outlet. And I failed to mention that earlier, and so I wanted to make sure that people were aware that Project Celebration is still doing great work, even in the absence of Ms. Jenkins. And so if anyone's listening and looking for another outlet, Project Celebration is somewhere that you can go to seek help for domestic violence. So I wanted to mention that. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Jones. A notice for the public. You'll see many commissioners are wearing either purple or pink. Maybe some are wearing both. The pink is to symbolize our support for breast cancer, and the purple is to symbolize our support for those who have lived through or are living through domestic violence. And it may merely be what was available in our wardrobe as to which one it appears that we're supporting. We all support both. Okay, Mr. Clerk, is that all the special resolutions that we're reading?
One more that isn't a presentation, but because it was the one that I believe Commissioner Burrell mentioned that she's unable to be here today. But he did ask that we read it into the record. So if I could read this final one into the record, I think that will complete the special resolution.
Please.
And this is a special resolution for Ms. Gloria Gibson, and it's a resolution of appreciation and recognition, and it reads, whereas Gloria C. Gibson, a visionary leader and cultural advocate, founded the Theater of Performing Arts of Shreveport, which has operated for over 30 years, promoting the positive and powerful representation of African American culture through the theater, dance, music, visual arts, history, and literature. And whereas under her leadership, the Theater of the Performing Arts has been instrumental in initiating cultural events that have become a vital part of the Shreveport community, including the establishment of the African American History Month Parade in downtown Shreveport in 1991, and the founding of the Black Arts Festival in 1985 that is now known as the Let the Good Times Roll Festival. And whereas the Theater of the Performing Arts, through Mrs. Gibson's guidance, has developed and presented numerous cultural arts programs impacting the lives of countless youth with initiatives like the Yazzie Summer Morning Mix, Youth Celebrating Jazz Concert, workshops, and the Saturday Development Academy, which have provided opportunities for participants to explore and train in all the areas of the arts. And whereas the participants in these programs have had the opportunity to collaborate and learn from local and internationally renowned artists, including violinist Michael Ward, flautist Bobby Humphrey, African dancer Titus Fatso, and the African Dance Institute, jazz saxophonist Pamela Williams, trumpeter Tom Brown, and most recently Tony Award winner and Grammy-nominated Melba Moore. And whereas Mrs. Gibson's commitment to the arts is matched by her dedication to service, as she is a deaconess and a member of the mission department at New Hope Missionary Baptist Church, where she founded Project New Hope, a program that provides clothing and food to those in need in the community. And whereas Mrs. Gibson also serves as treasurer with the Black Arts Coalition, an organization that presents cultural programs through Shreveport, further demonstrating her unwavering commitment to enriching the cultural landscape of Caddo Parish. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Caddo Parish Commission that it does hereby express its deep appreciation and recognition of Gloria C. Gibson for her outstanding leadership, dedication, and contributions to the arts and culture in Shreveport and Caddo Parish.
Commissioner Burrell.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I wanted that read just in case she's listening. As I said, she would have been here, but according to her daughter, she may have some issues, memory issues. And she has been a part of our art community for some time, especially not just the Black art community, but she's promoted, song, dance, music for a number of years. And many of us grew up knowing Miss Gibson and her contribution. And I thought it was just worthwhile to recognize a pioneer such as Miss Gibson. We'll be recognizing her on Saturday. I believe it's at the Morning Star. I think it's the Morning Star Baptist Church, where we'll be reading the proclamation to her again. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Commissioner Burrell. That's all of the special resolutions. Is that right, Mr. Clark?
That is correct.
That brings us to communiques. If you have a communique or committee report, please get on the board. Commissioner Thomas.
Thank you, Mr. President. I did just want to make sure to remind all the citizens that right now in downtown Shreveport, we have Prize Fest going on. Prize Fest will be running from October the 16th through the 19th. It kicked off yesterday with a food prize celebration where 8 culinary professionals, also they had celebrity chefs come in and paired with them, and they did do a showdown in which the top 3 finalists will be competing on Saturday at 3 o'clock, and they will be doing a showcase that's free to the public, where you can go and sample the culinary delights and vote for the favorite chef. Speaking of chefs, also October 20th through the 26th is Shreveport Bossier African American Chamber of Commerce's Black Restaurant Week. I do want to say to everyone that it's important to recognize that this is not about excluding one group of people. It's really more or less about celebrating the culinary traditions of the African diaspora, so that you'll notice that everybody loves soul food. My friend here is a huge patron of Taylor's. He'll always come here with some pork chops and some greens. It's a part of our Southern culture. And Louisiana, I think, does soul food the best, in my opinion. So if you can, please go out there. A number of different events that support this event, that support these businesses. It's about pretty much visibility for them and increasing patronage. As we know, the more that a business is patronized, the more that they're able to employ and hire individuals in our community. That does stimulate economic development. So please be sure to reach out. Not only that, next week, October the 21st through 27th is free college application week. So if you have a senior that's graduating and they're making plans for college, and if that application is a burden for you, please make sure that you take advantage of free college application week. And thank you, Mr. President. That concludes my communiques, unless I come up with some more. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Thomas. Commissioner Burrell.
Thank you, Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is I'm going to address this back to the administrator. I had requested that our government liaison, I guess is her new title, Valerie Gunn, to bring before the commission Dr. Martha White, to help clear up the issue that we've been dealing with Fairgrounds Field, the health issues surrounding that before the demolition. That has not been done as of yet. As I understand today, that Dr. White felt that it may not be in her purview, but since it's a issue dealing with biohazards that could affect the surrounding communities, hopefully the EPA, we can get someone or get a letter to address that issue, because I understand that that was part of the lawsuit that was filed, that was supposed to be cleared and hasn't been. I'm not saying it has not been cleared. To my satisfaction, being a representative of that district, who was one of the first ones to bring it to the public, that of this issue, we have not heard back. I did speak with Mayor Arsenault on last Friday, and to express my concerns that we have not, I have not seen where that matter has been cleared up. He committed to me that he was going to have a meeting with me. I have not had that meeting with him yet. I will be calling his office to see if he's going to have it, but that issue is still out there, Mr. Chairman, and I think we need to address it. It is our responsibility, although they may be in the city, but they're also our constituents too. So, Madam Administrator, we've talked about that. Hopefully we can get that done
Yes,
sooner
sir.
in a hurry, because we've been dealing with this now about a month or more.
Yes, sir. It has been about a month. You asked us Friday to contact Dr. White's office, and we will work with her to determine the appropriate contact that we can get to come update the commission.
And also, if the mayor has a letter, he said that he had a letter. He sent me some information, but it was not anything that dealt with the health issue associated with this. If he has something, bring it forward.
Well, we'll check with the mayor, but the only letter, there was a letter that he sent that was published in the paper also. But that letter was just relating to the items that the mayor's office asked the Friends of Fairgrounds to try to address in order to halt the demo.
But this should be from the Louisiana Department of Health. They were the one who was brought into this by Governor John Bell Edwards.
We'll follow up the mayor's office.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Commissioner Burrell. Commissioner Blake.
Thank you, Mr. President. I wanted to share real quick about the Prize Fest, how important it is. Today, I had a dear friend, Rick Rose, who is a former citizen of Caddo Parish. He now lives in Dane County, Wisconsin, where he is a board supervisor, which is what we are. So he is a commissioner for Wisconsin, where he lives. And he is here visiting for the Prize Fest. And so I just want to remind everybody what a great opportunity it is for our community to have tourism to come. So it's so many different aspects. There's the fashion, the film, the food, comedy, and music. So please get out, check and visit all the happenings going on. I also would like to remind everyone that early voting starts tomorrow. Get out and make your voices heard. And I also would like to share that I attended the DODDT.
Dot D.
Okay, you say it.
DOTD.
DODT.
Still got it.
That's all right. Okay, I'm dyslexic and I've
Department of
already
Transportation
spoke
and
and
Development.
I'm nervous. So anyways, the Department
Transportation and Development.
of Transportation Development was a great meeting. And they shared with us the funding for Northwest Louisiana and our roads. It's very important. And I would like to see if maybe we could get some information for our next meeting to share with the plans. I had to leave early, and I know that there's money that's going to be spent in my district for Uri Drive. And we have a lot of problems with that road. So, but I know there's funding in many areas and projects that are being completed and planned. And that's all that I have to say.
Thank you, Commissioner Blake. Commissioner Cothran.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just wanted to acknowledge animal control. I had the pleasure of being over there today as I go through the process of adopting a dog. Okay. And the thing is, it is so tight the way they got it. I mean, it's like, okay, what do I do? Just sit there. We got it. And they actually walked me through and told me what I need to do and when to come back in 4 days, and I get the certifications and things of this nature. And I say that to share with citizens of the parish. There are plenty of animals that need to be adopted out there. And the thing is, there's a right one for everyone. And I know that, be it dog, cat, whatever the case might be, and go from there. And again, I just wanted to acknowledge and thank Animal Control and this entire staff. As a matter of fact, I told some of the employees, you all need to come over here to the meeting. I know your chiefs always come, but some of you all need to come over here as well so we can acknowledge you all and thank them for what they do on a daily basis. Also, I would just like to thank Tim Weaver as well. Tim, anytime I text Tim, within a day or two, he texting back, it's done. And the thing about it is that whether it's clearing a ditch or fixing a road or moving, whatever the case might be, he gets it done. And I want he and his entire staff to know I appreciate what they do, because when I walk into church, and it makes a big difference when people are happy. I get texts back, happy wife, happy life, things of this nature. So again, I thank them for that. And I would be remiss if I did not even acknowledge the city of Shreveport, Public Works, Mr. Norman, and Terrence Green as well. Because again, even in working that, even though we are the parish, the city of Shreveport is in the parish. And the thing is, I have a very good working relationship with those two gentlemen as well, as far as getting things done for the citizens of Shreveport and for District 10. Again, I thank all of those that I just shared a few minutes ago, and there are others, I'm sure, but the thing is, again, those are the ones that come to mind right off the top. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Commissioner Cothran. Ms. Bryant, is Commissioner Cothran's dog going to be spayed or neutered before he adopts it? I thought we didn't let him out of the pound unless they were, okay. Okay, good.
He's just, yes, he
I'm
has to
just-
follow
I'm just
all
checking.
the same rules of any other citizen.
Great, okay.
I get no special privileges.
Good, and we don't want any extra dogs. All right, Commissioner Atkins.
Thank you, Mr. President. After sitting here quietly for an hour and a half, I just felt the need to just say something. So, I would like to pray that Commissioner Cothran makes it through the Animal Services vetting process. That's a bit dicey for a guy like Cothran, so we'll see. Hopefully, he'll make it through. I'd love to see you be a dog parent. Also wanted to thank Commissioner Thomas for pointing out the fact that we have free college application week this week. And is it this week or next week?
October the 21st through the 27th.
The 21st through the 27th. And I just wanted to remind all of our citizens to remember our local colleges and universities, Centenary College, Southern, and LSUS in particular. All three colleges are quality programs, and all three are very affordable. There's certain feelings out there that certain colleges are out of reach for our citizens, but I can assure you that all three of those colleges are attainable for all qualified students in our area. So let's get busy during college application week. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Commissioner Atkins. Okay, that's all the communiques on the board.
I have a,
Administrator Bryant.
yes. Sorry, my request to speak button is, but you on Monday, you all requested that we provide an update on the proposed bills related to the tax reform, and I'm just gonna allow Ms. Frazier to give an update on that.
Commissioners, we're working on it. There are about 10 bills, and some of them are contingent upon passing constitutional amendments. The first bill that I started reading was 85 pages long, if that gives you any indication of what's coming. So we're working to get that done as quickly as possible. Even the summaries are almost 30 pages long. So we're working to get you something next week.
Yes, and hearing from Secretary Nelson today, it is a lot of changes to the income tax, to sales taxes, inventory taxes, severance taxes. So it's a multitude of changes that they're proposing. And so, and many of them have a direct impact on Caddo Parish, as well as an indirect impact on Caddo Parish. So we want to make sure we provide you the most accurate information so you can make the best decision for the Caddo Parish citizens, because we will be asked our position on these bills, as well as when our revenues are, how our revenues are impacted, which they will be if some of this goes through. So we will have more information to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Administrator Bryant. Commissioner Gage Watts.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. CEO, I had a couple questions. We have an extra day for early voting this year. It was mentioned by the voter registrar's office.
So early voting starts tomorrow, October 18th.
Yeah.
And it goes through
October 30th.
Yes.
Yes.
So it is a extra day.
Okay. And also, do we have signs that we'll be putting at those locations like we do for the precincts?
The locations for the precinct signs
The
that
early voting?
we can for early voting, yes. Yes.
Thank you, Director Lawrence. Thank you so much.
Sorry, yes.
All right. Thank you. That's it, Mr. President.
Thank you, Commissioner Gage Watts. That's all of our communiques. That brings us to President's Report. I'll make a very brief President's Report today. About a week ago, or last weekend, I left Caddo Parish to go to a fair in some other parish south of here. I guess maybe it was DeSoto Parish. And I was, not expecting to be recognized, but someone yelled out, "Hello, Commissioner." And it was our own Michelle Nations, who was operating a booth at this fair, and she sells pickled vegetables. And about 2 days ago, I opened the pickled green beans, and they are the best pickled green beans I've ever had. They are really good. And I also wanted to salute the same Michelle Nations as a 2-time breast cancer survivor in this special month. So. Keep eating those vegetables.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, that brings us to Section 11. It looks empty. Section 12.
We've got a public hearing for Ordinance 6465 of 2024. That's an ordinance amending the budgets of estimated revenues and expenditures for the Building Maintenance Fund, Capital Improvement Fund 1, Oil and Gas Fund, Public Works Fund, Solid Waste Fund, Parks and Recreation Fund, Juvenile Justice Fund, Health Tax Fund, General Fund, Detention Facilities Fund, and the Capital Outlay Fund for the year 2023 to terminate completed or lapsed capital projects and otherwise provide with respect thereto. The next item available for public hearing today is Ordinance 6466 of 2024, an ordinance to amend Article 6 of Chapter 26 of the Code of Ordinances of the Parish of Caddo relative to Section 28-189, Schedule 1, no truck zones on Brown Street and Coley Road, and otherwise provide with respect thereto. The next item is a public hearing for Ordinance 6467 of 2024, an ordinance to authorize the purchase of the surface parking lot located at Texas at McNeil Streets in Shreveport, Louisiana, and otherwise provide with respect thereto. And the final item for a public hearing today is Ordinance 6468 of 2024. That's an ordinance declaring certain adjudicated properties to be surplus and to authorize the parish's administrator or a designee to sell the Parish of Caddo's tax interest in certain surplus adjudicated properties and otherwise provide with respect thereto. Those are in District 3.
Okay, I'll now open a public hearing on ordinances 6465, 6466, 6467, and 6468 of 2024. If you wish to speak for or against any of these ordinances, please come forward now. Public hearing is open. No one appears to speak. Public hearing is closed. That brings us to zoning ordinances for final passage, an empty section, and ordinances for final passage. Those we just had a public hearing.
The first item we have is Ordinance 6465, which we read a moment ago. It is an ordinance amending the budgets of estimated revenues and expenditures for the Building Maintenance Fund, Capital Improvements Fund 1.
I have a motion from Commissioner Jones, second from Commissioner Thomas. Commissioner Jones? Okay, you wish to adopt? You're moving to adopt? Okay. So we have a motion to adopt, 6465 of 2024. We can vote.
And Commissioner Crackman, is your tablet still having a problem? Could we get a voice vote from you on that? Yes. Okay, thank you very much. And that passes with 12 in support, none in opposition, and brings us to the next item, which is ordinance 6466. And that's an ordinance to amend Article 6 of Chapter 26 of the Code of
Motion
Ordinances.
from Commissioner Thomas, second from Commissioner Gage Watts. Commissioner Thomas.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would like to englobo and adopt ordinances 14.2, I'm sorry, section items 14.2, 14.3, and 14.4.
All right, there's a motion to englobo and adopt ordinance 6466 of 2024, 6467 of 2024, and 6468 of 2024. Do you wish to speak on your motion, Commissioner Thomas?
No, thank you, Mr. President.
Commissioner Cawthorn, you're on the board.
Yes, Mr. President, I would like to make a substitute motion of 14-2 and 14-4. 14-3, I would like to see some discussion concerning that particular ordinance, 6467.
Did you say ordinance 6467?
Correct.
That's 14.3 on my list.
Yeah, 14.3.
Okay, so you would like to remove that from the englobo to discuss, or do you just want to discuss it now during the englobo discussion?
Either way.
Well, we can just discuss it now. It doesn't look like there's a lot of people on the board to discuss it. Do you wish to speak about it?
Yeah, you know, when I look at the ordinance about the surface parking lot located at Texas and McNeil, when you look at the dollars amount, it jumped out at me, and I had numerous citizens to call and ask me what was going on in reference to that. But in talking with the parish administrator, some things became very clear that I had no information about. And what I would like her to do is share that information at this time.
Yes, sir. Commissioners, as you know, the employees park at the lot about 2 blocks away off of McNeil, and we share that lot with the city of Shreveport. We have requested or discussed with multiple administrations, from the Glover administration to the Tyler administration, Perkins. There are concerns about the safety there. We have had employees that have been confronted in that lot. The lot is in bad condition, multiple potholes. And so we tried to work with the city to get that lot repaired. The cost of this particular lot is about what we would pay our share to improve that lot. But the primary benefit, the primary reason we would like to purchase a lot is for the safety of Caddo Parish employees. When there's a lot that is across the street from that multiple citizens use our lot as a pass-through, and they're speeding through there. There's been times where there have been some arguments as a result of that, so we wanted to have a gate. We haven't been able to do that. So just after hearing from our employees, when this opportunity came about to add 30 spaces, we thought that this was the opportunity to use the monies that we've already allocated to improve the current lot to purchase this lot. It'd be 30 spaces. It could be an option for commissioners, since that is next door to the lot that you currently have. There would also be savings in the sense that we won't do the validation across the street for student workers, some visitors, some department heads, because most of our department heads that have to visit the building have to park at the meters or across the street. So we hope to see some savings there. The close proximity to both Government Plaza and the courthouse is advantageous to us because we have multiple employees in the courthouse also. The original asking price for the lot was $325,000, and we negotiated it to $295,000. We have had an appraisal on the property. It appraised for, as you know, we cannot purchase property for more than appraised value. So it has it appraised in the realm that we were paying. And so we think that this is a good investment on the behalf of our employees. There will be probably some work that we'll need to do to the lot, but we also have the funds to be able to take care of that also.
All right, Commissioner Atkins.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just wanted to state that I agree with everything that Director Bryant just said, and I also want to remind our colleagues that this is not an expense, it's an investment. We're paying less than appraised value for a physical asset that will be there into perpetuity or at any point in which we choose to sell it. So I support this acquisition. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Commissioner Atkins. Commissioner Cawthorn?
And Mr. President, I would just like to say I do support it, but initially when I looked at it, I had some questions. And the thing, once I talked to the parish administrator and she started sharing things with me, and one of the things as Commissioner Thomas continued to build up downtown Shreveport, at some point we will be able to rent that parking lot as well. So again, those are just some of the things that we were able to find out and discuss as well.
Thank you. The three most important things about a parking spot or a parking lot are location, location, location. All right, and this one's right next door. Okay, that's all the conversation on this englobo and adopt, so we can vote.
Commissioner Crackman, if you could please vote an affirmative. Thank you. That gives us 12 in support, none in opposition, and brings us now to ordinances for introduction.
I'm sorry, my mic was off, but just to confirm that motion did pass without opposition, 12 in support, and that brings us now to ordinances for introduction by title. And today we have a number of items to introduce, including ordinances 6469 of 2024. That is an ordinance adopting the budget of estimated revenues and expenditures for the Shreve Memorial Library for the year 2025. The next item is introduction of ordinance 6470 of 2024. That's an ordinance to deem property surplus and to authorize the transfer of surplus property owned by the parish of Caddo to the town of Greenwood and to otherwise provide with respect thereto. The next item is the introduction of ordinance 6471 of 2024. That is an ordinance to set the general purpose and special purpose millages, providing for millage rate adjustments as allowed by Article 7, Section 23 of the Louisiana Constitution of 1974 and Louisiana Revised Statutes 47, 1705B, levying and imposing taxes and assessments for 2024 on all the property subject to taxation in the parish of Caddo and to otherwise provide with respect thereto. The next item is the introduction of ordinance 6472 of 2024. That is an ordinance to set the general purpose and special purpose millages, providing for an increase in the millage rates not in excess of the prior year's maximum rates as allowed by Article 7, Section 23 of the Louisiana Constitution of 1974 and Louisiana Revised Statutes 47, 1705B, levying and imposing taxes and assessments for 2024 on all the property subject to taxation in the parish of Caddo and to otherwise provide with respect thereto. The next item is the introduction of Ordinance 6473 of 2024. That is an ordinance to donate surplus property under Chapter 19, Article 2, Division 3 of the Code of Ordinances relative to donation of adjudicated property acquired by the parish of Caddo under Louisiana Revised Statutes 47, 2236 to authorize the donation of property to Friends of Friends Incorporated and otherwise provide with respect thereto. Those properties are in Districts 3, 4, and 6, by the way. The next item is the introduction of Ordinance 6474 of 2024. That's an ordinance amending the budget of estimated revenues and expenditures for the Riverboat Fund and the Oil and Gas Fund to provide an additional appropriation for the Safe Summer Program and to otherwise provide with respect thereto. And the next item is an introduction of 6475 of 2024. That's an ordinance declaring the intent of the parish under Louisiana Revised Statutes 47, 2236 to acquire full ownership interest in 6 parcels of property identified by Caddo Parish tax assessors geographic numbers as 171402 12738, 1814 55 10, 1814 68 43, 1814 122 24, 1714 158 2, and 1714 54 1, and otherwise provide with respect thereto. Those properties are in Districts 3, 5, and 6. And the next item is the introduction of Ordinance 6476 of 2024. And that is an ordinance declaring the intent of the parish under Louisiana Revised Statutes 472236 to acquire full ownership interest in a parcel of property identified by Caddo Parish Tax Assessor's geographic number as 1814-35-128-54 and described as Lot 54 and 1/2 adjacent abandoned alley and Boisseau Annex and otherwise provide with respect thereto. That item is in District 3 and is the final item we have for introduction today, bringing us now to work session minutes, where you do have the work session minutes of your
Motion from
October 14th.
Commissioner Gage Watts, second by Commissioner Jones. Commissioner Gage Watts.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. I would like to move to in globo and adopt our work session minutes. Yes.
17.1.
14th, the resolution 69, 70, 71. If there's any discussion on the appointment, or that one, is that the one that we postponed?
No, ma'am, this is the reappointment. So this is one, y'all made this appointment a couple of years ago, and it's just up for renewal. And we have support letters from the organization thanking y'all for the appointment, saying he's doing a great job, and they're requesting reappointment.
Okay. That will be my
All right.
in global motion.
Okay, so we have a motion to englobo and adopt 17.1, 18.1, 18.2, 18.3, and 20.1. There's no further discussion. We can vote.
And Commissioner Crackman? No? Okay. That has been registered, and that motion carries with 11 in support, 1 in opposition. And brings us to your second round of communiques and reports.
Okay, are there any more communiques or reports? Yes, Commissioner Atkins.
Don't think I could. Jeff, do you have for the North Louisiana Human Services
I
District?
can provide that certainly, but their work is related to oversight of organizations that provide services to the homeless and to people that are experiencing social service type operations that fall under state guidelines, and so they work with those type of organizations, and we certainly have a write-up. This is a appointment that is requested. You as an organization are empowered to make this appointment by the state, and so this is. Correct. It's not an organization that was founded by Caddo Parish. It's an organization that's a state organization that you are asked to appoint members to, and this is one of your members. Absolutely, and I'll be happy to share additional information about their roles and responsibilities with you all. I'll send you all a little one-pager.
Thank you, Jeff.
They did, by the way, highly praise this member, so they thanked y'all for this appointment.
Commissioner Gage Watts.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just want to remind if there are any sickle cell parents, the children and youth of the sickle cell are having a festival, sickle cell festival today at 5:30 at Morning Star, Dr. M.L. Hunt Life Center. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Gage Watts. That looks like all of our communiques. Do we have any citizens' comments, second round? If not, I'll entertain a motion